I'll do a roll call. Eric Nyland? Did you say aye? I couldn't.
Oh, you or muted or
Can
something,
you
Pam.
hear me?
I can hear you, Pam.
I can hear you.
Eric, can you hear?
I can't hear you unless it's me. I don't know.
It's you, Eric.
It's you.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Oh. Okay. Now talk.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a conference room and I just connected in the other monitor and it must have taken my audio. Yeah. Okay.
I'll just do a quick roll call.
Sure.
Eric Nyland?
Here.
Alan Levin?
Here.
Kristen Dijon?
Here.
And Sean Woods?
Here.
Okay. Okay, so we have 4 members present, which is a quorum. And first on the agenda, I had the Backyard Bolton event review, the summer event, and talk about a possible fall.
Yeah.
date.
So I think it went pretty well, the summer one. The software worked really well. It made my life much easier, so that was good doing it through that. And I didn't have to collect any money, which was great. I don't know if everybody paid or not. That's out of my jurisdiction. So you guys could chase that down if people didn't pay who were out of town.
Yeah, we take care of that.
Yeah. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. With so many events in town, it's definitely like the numbers are going down. So I definitely don't think we should be doing 2 in the fall because I think 1 is fine.
Is that like a gut feel, Eric, or are we hearing from vendors that they're getting less business?
I mean, I don't have hard numbers, but like I go around and ask and they're like, oh, it's kind of quiet. It's kind of quiet. I mean, but people do sell stuff and it's cheap, so they come back. But I do think we're like navigate when we started this like 8, 9 years ago or something, there wasn't really much around, but now all the farms are doing it. Like it's a very common thing, these type of things. So yeah, I think that's probably the situation.
And Bolton Spring is now doing it. Well, they're having one in the fall too. And I think, they did a Christmas in July. Yeah. They did a fall one. And so the vendors
have like 6 or 7.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the question is, do we even keep doing it? I think we keep doing it because it's basically free for people in town. And I think people like it in general. I know I talked to the pizza truck guy and he was very happy. I think he sold like 80 pizzas or something like that.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was wondering about that because it was I was there on the earlier side of the day and it was a little slow, but I'm glad to hear that he got good business.
No, he said this is the size event and he was happy with it. I think he would definitely like to come back. So maybe it's just
I think we picked October 17th.
Yeah. I mean, that seems
like I think the fall one's like it's something to do in the fall. I feel like there's less of that kind of stuff going on. So
if one of us could get it together and try to get like a musician, that might even make things better. But I thought in general it was good. Vendors come a lot of these fairs, even like the Bolton Spring Farm one, I think they pay a fair amount of money to be there.
Yeah, I think that's why they like ours.
Exactly. Yeah. So they can just kind of come and hang out, and if they make a couple of sales, it's good,
Well, it is nice for the local people and the kids and,
right.
I wonder if it wouldn't benefit. I'd be interested to talk to Parks and Rec, and I'm just saying I've not spoken to them at all. So anything I'm saying right now is just observation. I'm not saying that we combine with them. I'm just wondering if it wouldn't. I mean, they had a concert, like a band, and they had I have to ask her about her numbers, but I'm kind of feeling like if Bolton Spring Farm is really kind of doing the curated market, place which is, obviously a lot of people are going to Neshoba Winery and Bolton Spring Farm now for these curated kind of markets. I wonder if we need sort of a slightly different hook to kind of get people. I mean, we're already sort of angling it a little bit toward families just with the robots and things like that, and the kids bake sales and things like that. I'm just wondering if it wouldn't help to like combine with Parks and Recs to kind of have like, kids games on the common. And, I just feel like that would help bring the groups together, and it might benefit.
Yeah.
I would say it seems like at least a third of our vendors are making things that are kids oriented. I mean, a lot of tchotchkes, a lot of little things that, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of, baby knits, it just seems there a lot of the vendors are family oriented to begin with. So it wouldn't, it would be slightly different. We wouldn't be competing with the Neshoba Valley and the Bolton Spring Farm, which are a little bit more high end curation.
Right.
We would have the kids treats, everything they've always had, it does tend to gear toward a little bit more because we don't charge an arm and a leg. So, because we're not charging whatever the high fee is, we're getting the types of crafts, and not all of them. I'm not saying, we have the high end tables, we have some high end stuff, but we're also getting a lot of the kids crafts, a lot of the cheap, the stuff that's not as expensive so that people are going to spend an arm and a leg for a table. But that said, I think that's why we probably about a third of the vendors seems like they would really benefit from more and more families coming in.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know all the vendors that are selling like baked goods and stuff, they all do really well. Like the ones selling more expensive, like you said, higher end stuff, maybe not as much, but again, it's like free basically for them to be there. So they don't really care. But I think what you're saying is probably true. Like it's evolved over time. Like originally we were thinking farmers market, and then it turned into like just like a artisans market. But maybe it's more of like an event, like a community event, and like combining with Parks and Rec. Maybe they get a band or something, and like you said, like maybe it's like some type of like, I don't know, Bolton Day, or something like, I don't know, Bolton Day would,
Don't they do a trick or treat event in late October?
Yeah. Well, they have the trick or treat lane, but that's really like really quick.
That's fast, and it's at the school.
It's like a pop in, pop out. That thing's done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, the parents it's like a quick, isn't it like I forgot. Is it at the common now, or is it the school?
No, they just start, they meet in like Memorial Field, and then from there, the kids walk around the school essentially, and it's over. Yeah.
Was it a weekend or was it a weekday night?
That's usually like Saturday or something.
Okay. Yeah. But it is a kind of a quick thing. I think the parents kind of want to have a quick, run through and then take the kids off to bed or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like if we could attract more families, and like you said, I mean, to make it kind of like just sort of an event that people have something to come to, like games on the common, or maybe it's backyard Bolton family days or something.
Yep.
There was a guy at the Parks and Rec concert that was doing really impressive face paint, and something like that would be fun to have there for kids and stuff too.
Yeah. So if we could couple that with, because the whole point of it from the EDC perspective was kind of like in-home businesses and small businesses kind of like marketing themselves. So if we can combine it up and because I've been to a couple of those concerts, and there's not tons of people there, but it would be good for everybody if we just kind of merge it all into one and kind of
I'll reach out to Parks and see what they have going on and what kind of dates we can come up with.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think their stuff's already all planned. They've got 4 concerts lined up, so it might be more of a next year conversation.
Oh, well, I mean, even if, I don't know what the dates are. Maybe, we're not set in stone yet, so.
Their dates are, I actually have it, but it'll take me 5 minutes to pull up. Well, during this conversation, I'll come up with their dates because I have them. And I could talk to Martha too. I mean, this is just informal what I'm saying, and what I'm saying is not been brought up by them at all. So I don't want to like wrap them into something they haven't agreed to. But my feeling
I know Lisa had always asked if we could do something like the Backyard Bolton at their holiday lighting, but I always thought it was like too cold, you know.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, the weather is so tricky when at that time of year.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
to have,
nobody wants to just stand out in the cold.
Right,
But I
but
think-
something in October would probably work.
yeah, and their concert, they have, okay, during this conversation, I'm gonna have the concert pull dates for you in about 5 minutes. But yeah, I feel like looking at some of the pictures that we included, it seems like everybody could benefit from merging the two. You know, if you get
Yeah.
a food truck out there, they have a food truck, and then
Yeah.
if you had a bunch of vendors there and maybe face painters, or it could
Yep.
just be like one big thing. Maybe
Yeah.
their last summer concert, maybe they do two alone, and then we come in for their last one. But again, I have
Yeah.
not spoken to them, so I don't want to put.
I mean, it could be that we we had like 40 plus 45 vendors there last time. So maybe there's just not enough money overall coming in. Like maybe there's more money. There's a fair amount of money coming in, but it's just so spread out, that there's so many vendors don't see it. So maybe we do have too many vendors now.
Yeah, and well, also if we merged with the concert event, we would have to be more thoughtful about how we'd probably need fewer vendors because you need space on the lawn for people to stand and be able to see the band under the pavilion and stuff like that. So it would kind of change our layout. So
Yeah,
that's fine.
we don't need to discuss that too much until we
Yeah,
talk.
we have the pass along the front too, so that would be fine, I think. There's plenty of room there.
There are 3 concerts still to go: August 21st, September 18th, and October 16th.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
Wait, so
Friday night. That's
Those
like
are Friday nights, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
It's
that's
Friday.
kind of difficult.
It's not
I
possible.
forgot they were
Yeah.
nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
maybe
do
for
wanna-
maybe for next year.
Yeah, we can talk about it for next year. We do need to talk about the parking situation though. I just put something in the chat and we need to make a change because the vendors just don't move their cars. Like no matter how many times we go around asking and reminding people to move their cars, they don't do it. So I'm gonna ask that when we have vendors sign up, we ask them to put their license plate in. And and then we can like print out a report that says this vendor's at this booth and this is their license plate number so that we can,
Yeah.
if there are cars in the lot, we can go around and say, I know your car is still here, please move it. Because there's the last one, there were literally three spots rotating for customers. Everyone else was by a vendor and they won't move.
And if the parking is really difficult, well, I mean, a lot of people do just walk over from the church, but if you're older or not as
There's like
mobile,
old ladies driving into the parking lot having to turn around because they can't get a spot and they're not going to walk over from the church.
and then they'll kind of probably lost forever, right? Because they'll be like,
Right.
well, I can't go.
They're
There's
not
no place
coming
to park.
back. Now, there's a handful of vendors that have handicap stickers on their cars, so we can include something that's like reach out to, Eric or Sean or whoever if you need an exception, and we'll figure it out. But in general, we need to be more strict about that, and this is the only way I can think of to do it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Maybe add it to the form, Pam.
we did have that issue. We also will have to get on the calendar. I'll talk maybe in the future. We make sure we coordinate with Trinity to make sure that they don't have a massive sale like this last. I don't know if you were there, Eric, but they had literally had a free one of the freebie sales, which attracts a ton of people. So of all
their
days,
lot was like totally full.
It was of all days. I've never ever in all the time I've been here, I've never seen their lot entirely packed, like completely full. Even people were trying to park at the police station. Well, yeah.
All right, I'll reach out to Parks first, see if they have any fall activities we can piggyback with besides the concert.
Yeah.
And then get when we pick a date, coordinate with Trinity.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So if there's the 16th, I wonder if even the 17th is a good day to do because people would be going. I mean, it's kind of the same people. Like, would they go Friday night? They come right back Saturday. Maybe it's totally different. So maybe it's so. But
we have to make sure that that's the other thing. If they have an event, we have to make sure there's somebody to clean it that night or next morning. because that happened. I think one of the last, not this last time, but the time before, there was an issue.
The porta potty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Porta potty incident.
Yeah. And nobody wants to do that and still
No.
direct traffic and help
Yeah.
vendors.
My volunteership ends before that point.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah. I don't even go in those for myself. Never mind
Right.
having to clean it.
So Bolton Spring Farm looks like September 19th and November 14th. So October sounds good.
Yeah, October's safe.
Yeah, we picked the date and looked at theirs already, but we
Okay.
didn't try and coordinate with parks.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this, maybe the 10th. I forget why we ruled out the 10th or 24th.
Columbus, the 10th is Columbus Day.
Oh, okay. And the 24th is a little late, I guess. So then the other option would be like October 3rd. I don't know if anything's going on that day.
All right. So the options are October 3rd or October 17th, was it?
Yeah, except I'm a little worried about it being the morning after that event for multiple reasons. After the concert on the 16th.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and also like a lot of times on Friday night, I go and set up the flags. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which that whole system works really well. I feel like I barely even need to go. Once I have everybody so getting everybody registered was easy. Then I just had to set up a map with the numbers and it really runs itself except for the parking lot.
Yeah.
But I think we have it down. But just like, yeah, the vendors definitely were, I feel like, a bit underwhelmed. I probably should send out like some type of Google form to see like what they think, what type of improvements. We changed it from 10 to 3, which I think everybody kind of liked, and people are still rolling in at. Did we do 10 to 3 or 10 to 2? I don't even remember. I think it was 10 to 3.
I think we did do 3.
Yeah.
We did 4, 10 to 4.
Oh.
We usually do 10 to 2 and you extended it to 4.
Did I extend it to 4? I don't remember. I thought it was 3, but
I thought it was 3. Did it start raining at the very end, or am I completely?
I don't remember.
It was advertised as 10 to 4.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, maybe. I like really don't remember. That day I know I had like 3 different things I had to go to.
I think it might have started raining. Either way. Yeah, so I could talk to Parks and Recs too. I'm just curious if we could get kids games, or if we could just add one element or something to attract more families. Some of the vendors I talked to, some said they did fine. I mean, I don't think anyone said, oh, there's a huge number of people. I mean, except the pizza guy, which
yeah.
I mean,
pizza guy was happy. He's the only vendor for food. So
yeah, so I think that works. I mean, I'm glad that went well. I think
really, if you just think the vendors alone, that's probably a fair amount right there.
Yeah, and like, yeah, it might be slowing down, but if the vendors if it wasn't worth it for them, they wouldn't come. And then we'd have a problem. I don't think we need to talk about like scaling back or anything until that's happening.
It was till 3, sorry.
Yeah, no, I think the fact that it's basically free and 25 for out of town, that they don't really, if they sell one thing, they're fine. You know?
People aren't coming expecting to just rake it in.
Yeah.
At Backyard Bolton, but
I mean, if you want to you go to like these in-city ones that, it costs a few $100s to be, then okay, it's a completely different thing, but you kind of go in to chill for the day, really.
And some of them had fun, they bring, a couple of them bring their kids, and then the kids enjoy the robot. And so it's like a couple of them told me that they just enjoy the day. I mean, they just enjoy the Backyard Bolton, I think, because of the relaxed atmosphere or whatever else.
Yeah.
October is
think
great
there's
too because it's just such a great time of year to be outside in this
Yeah.
area.
I mean, and like, you know, speaking economically for the town, it's not really doing much, although, make a few $100s on a $25 fees, but
Yeah, it
Um,
is. I mean, it helps support the businesses that are run out.
Spreads
but
the
but
word.
but it really is an avenue for like kind of connect, you know, like people do have in-home businesses or they're retired and like, so I don't know, I guess it's looking at that end of things.
we also might want to the one good thing, and I think one of the goals for us is also not just to help the vendors there on site, but to help places like Kitchen Sink Candle Company, because they
Oh,
said
actually,
they
yeah,
did a really good job. They apparently they had their candle bar was just hopping, of course, because you had all these families dropping in. So that's, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I think,
I talked to her and she said it was like the busiest day ever of the candle bar, like because they had just all the people milling around and so they definitely reap the benefits of it.
yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, I think to me, it's like, I would say it's the goals are twofold, to help the small vendors who actually can sell and get networking for them, but also to kind of get people in town. And from there, it's like, that's originally why I had the Hello Bolton then the group, we used to put the Kitchen Sink Candle Company stuff on the table. And, my thinking is we should coordinate a little bit more with Neshoba Valley Winery, although they're hopping all the time anyway, so they don't need
Yeah.
it much. But to coordinate with Kitchen Sink Candle Company and coordinate with any other shops. Now that we are having the new shops coming into that new building, not the new building, but the renovated
Six or
barn.
six.
Yeah, do we have an idea of when they're coming in? Like when that's opening?
Nope.
Okay.
I wonder if we could get I like where you're going with this, Kristen, and I wonder if we could get Neshoba Winery out of the woods, Bolton Bean, to give us a stack of coupons or something that we can put on a table and have people grab and try to drive more traffic to those businesses.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
always thought we should do something like that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I tried to start doing that. It's just I've run out of time basically,
Yeah.
especially with this
Same.
newspaper stuff that I got dealt. But I feel like it's just a perfect time for people to. It's like, why, if you're going to come into Bolton, why not just go up the street and did you know that there's apple picking? There's this going on. It's like you almost feel like while they're in town, just keep them in town for the whole day.
But even at the Hello Bolton table or whatever, if there were event specific coupons or whatever, come by the table and whatever, there's 20% off for something at the Bolton Bean or
Right.
or a yoga class or something. Yeah, like the local business table. We probably should be doing that a lot more. I think that would be a good idea.
And that was my original plan. I just honestly, I just ran out of time.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
It's just
we
sort of.
were questioning people a lot for the housing production plan, doing surveys and getting some input, and we didn't run into a lot of people that didn't live in Bolton. So maybe we look at other areas to advertise.
I know Kristen does a good job of putting it around on other community boards like Lancaster. I don't know. I know.
Yeah, I definitely do online advertising with the Facebook groups. I think that's where a lot of people are. I mean, and then I do the newspaper too, which goes into Stowe and Harvard. I do the kids Harvard families and Maynard families, and so I do kind of, yes, I do that part. What I haven't had time to do, and which might be helpful, is if we have a few posters printed up, and I know, and I do this in advance, I'm not rushed. Maybe we could all, find the places to put up posters, because I think there's probably still, I mean, you got the free space over at Classic Pizza. You got Country Covered, which I think might still let us put them up. Either way, there's still spots where I haven't. It used to be we always, for marketing all the musicals for the schools, we always had flyers everywhere. You had, everything was less digital and more in person. But now everybody's migrated to digital, which makes sense. But I think it would still be helpful to put up actual posters.
I know when we go to Nan's and Stowe, we go and sit. There's a bar in the back, and there's a board with a ton of flyers, and we're actually sitting there eating, and it's in your face. And there's definitely been a couple of things that have caught our eye. So And I always kind of mention it to like vendors and stuff. Hey, like print it out and post it somewhere. But like, yeah, same thing. It's just time, right? But like, I do think there's an avenue. There is a place for physical marketing, even like, A-frame sandwich boards along 117 a week leading up to it that would attract people.
Yeah. Put some balloons or something. But yeah, I think, getting the coupons, getting, maybe some type of hook where, we have kids like, come take part in the, cornhole competition. Maybe it's, maybe something as simple as that actually is an active, interactive thing. I think a lot of families look for the interactive. I know they come for the robot. And, quite a few have said, oh, we're here for the robot, and I think by chance they're buying things also. So I think if we get the families, and we already have a third of our vendors who are selling kid type items, the kids always want to buy something. So they're buying some of these items. And also, yeah, the physical flyers, I'm trying to think of what else.
I think the cornhole competition in the middle is actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it'd be fun.
have some type of prize or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you could just have prizes. I just noticed when we brought out one time, we brought out those cones or whatever, and the kids had a blast. And Sean's been bringing the cornhole, and I have some cornhole. I have some here. We could actually put an APB out and just say, hey, anyone who could lend their cornhole games, bring them to the common on whatever Saturday. Well, that might get.
I mean, the thing though, you can plan a lot. If we did do something like that, we just need more people to like manage it. So.
Well, this is where I was thinking if we could get the help from Parks and Rec and make it a sort of a combined event, that could be doable. I don't think it's doable for just us.
No.
But Lisa's so good at it. She's a pro. But we'd have to get. But maybe we could help them with we could help them really market their events too. Maybe there's a way to kind of help each other. The other thing, okay, so I don't want to go off the agenda item, but maybe next meeting we could have on the agenda, Masters Academy. They're opening September 15th.
So when we talk about our invitation to the select board, we can talk about it there.
Okay, that'd be great. I can't say anything now because I have to talk to their town administrator, but they had something on they have an EDIC, and I listened into one of their meetings for my job as, for the paid newspaper. I was in trying to figure out what they're doing as far as marketing for Masters. And they were talking about, on the agenda item, they had regional EDC.
Yeah, we've talked about that. They've reached out to us, and we're all trying to come up with a date.
Yeah. So what? Actually, I was going to ask you too. I was going to ask Denise and talk to you and see what is that something you can talk about here, or is that
sure?
Yeah. So basically, they want. I know that they've been talking about some type of coordination, which makes sense because everybody they only have some of the services needed by the students, and so there's this prediction that a lot of the students are going to be on campus. So I believe it's 75% will be on campus, 25% commuters. So the guess is that there's going to be a lot of younger people kind of running around with, I don't know, scooters or cars maybe, or whatever. I'm just not entirely sure, but it sounds like they're going to be having basketball games that the public's invited to, baseball games, different things. So I think, what we might want to do, and they have a budget too. I don't want to say too much because I can't speak for them, but my thinking is if we can combine with them and obviously offer what you guys were talking about too, complimentary services, like, okay, if you need this or that, come down here. The haircut, we got haircut, whatever Stowe doesn't have, we would want to complement and market. But we also might want some type of directory, like just a basic map or directory of the wineries, of the apple places, where to go in this area.
we do have the brochure, it needs to be updated. But I mean, we did
It was
have that.
updated.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so we do have that. We just need it printed out and stuff like that, or just a QR code for the digital version if that might even exist. So
Yeah, and maybe, if I were a student or if I was somebody new to town, it's like I'd want, maybe, well, I don't know, but it'd be, if I were coming into town, I kind of want to know what's around the surrounding area. So if you had a directory for Stowe, Bolton, if you combined it, if you had something combined it, maybe we talk to them about integrating. But I don't want to get over my skis on that. But
no, I mean, and even just that land there on the edge of the town there, I mean, that's prime for support businesses for that school. So
yeah, and I think
I
giving
think they
them
wanted to meet for other, not just that. That was just one of the topics. I think just as a regional economic development discussion, because most of the communities are so small, they wanted to join forces and come up with more of a regional scope.
So before that still one even existed, they before you, Pam, they had come to a meeting or two just to ask like what we do, and they had looked like at that point we had an active web page and different things. So we had met with them before, even before they were incorporated, I guess. But it would be good to, I mean, I guess just like the select board has the tri-town meeting, it'd be good to have like a more regional meeting to group up.
Yeah, and I think I think we should get together materials as soon as possible because like I said, the opening is September 15th, which is not far. It's gonna go quickly.
We do have like, a map and stuff like that. So
I'll be curious to see what they're doing too. All right. Anyway, I don't want to veer off, but we can. Is that at select board? We're going to be talking about the master plan. Is that right?
They want us to explain what all of our initiatives are with respect to the master plan.
Yeah.
and clearly working with Stowe and the Masters Academy falls into that category.
Yeah, we're not there yet, so I have things to say about it, but
I can contact them. Go.
I definitely, in the past, I've tried to touch base with the select board and try to get like direction from them on what we want to do. Like, because I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and maybe the select board's different, but in the past,
it's different.
Yeah, but in the past, they've wanted zero to do with what, it seemed like we were just kind of like in name only, and they weren't really interested in anything we did. So that's kind of fell off. Maybe it is different now. But that's why we haven't really been communicating with them, is just because, like the board changes slowly over time, a new person comes in, and like it's ideas change. But like in the past, we've gone into the select board talking about things that could improve, like we were really trying to push before the common was constructed, like a public water supply somehow to help the businesses around the common and different things. And we've brought up different things and basically been kind of like saying, that's too much, basically they weren't interested in anything we said. So I think that's kind of how, in the past few years, we haven't talked to them at all, basically. So I do think that having multiple meetings with the select board would be amazing, and it should happen. So
yeah, Alan, it sounded like you had some perspective on how it's different now.
So I went to the last two select board meetings, and in the June one, I got sandbagged because I was there because of other committees I'm on, and I got questioned about the EDC. So, and there were 4 items that touched on the EDC in that June meeting.
Yeah.
And then in the July meeting, they were very clear that they wanted the whole EDC to present something at their August meeting. And also I ran into Bill Nichols at the town hall, and he asked me how we were doing on the presentation for the select board.
You know, it's interesting because I heard nothing, you know, like they don't talk to me.
Well,
and being the chairman,
yeah,
like, it's like
I thought we were going
in.
in for a discussion. No one talked about a presentation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a presentation.
Well, I'm not giving them any presentation because I don't know what the heck they want, you know, so.
I believe that they would like us to present initiatives with respect to the master plan.
Yeah, and we, you know, Pam does have documents written up on the economic side of things, so.
I can do a little PowerPoint if you want, just discuss the 4 Bushmill zoning initiatives.
Yeah.
Our communication with the EDC.
I think the reason they invited all of us is they want to hear from more than just Pam.
So
well, I can prepare
before we give them a document, they need to tell us what they want. And I haven't even had an email besides, hey, the select board wants to talk to you. So I haven't been asked for anything. I mean, I'm just telling you, I haven't had any contact.
I think you should reach out to them because I think they asked you. I mean, from listening to them talk, I'm sure they think they asked you.
Yeah, I don't think so. And Pam's kind of the advisor, so.
Yeah, they haven't, other than asking like what we've been doing and to come to a meeting, I didn't, they were asking for a presentation and.
Let's ask them for clarification on what their expectations are for that meeting.
I think the meeting should be, what are the expectations? How can we collaborate? How can we help the select board? Because the EDC is just an advisory board, you know. So like, what do you guys need and how can we help? And great, you know. And then we can move on from there.
And it's tricky too. I'm sure, you know, with the economic crunch, suddenly it's like, you know, there's probably more emphasis on the EDC now than before because of the economic crunch. Like where are all the businesses, as if we're going to be able to market and get businesses. You know, you look at a lot of towns. I mean, yeah, they're EDC. They have a chamber of commerce. They also have a huge budget.
They also have utilities, which we don't. That's our biggest issue.
I know you have the utilities there, you know, so you compare, you know, like EDCs in some towns or chambers or whatever it is, you know, getting businesses and all that stuff, that would be ideal. But it's also, it also takes some kind of budget and some kind of ability to take charge of something. I think it's, you know, it's tricky. I think, you know, our bandwidth, I'm guessing it, from what I can tell, is pretty tapped out just getting backyard Boltons on.
So the email says they'd like to engage in a conversation with the EDC members regarding your near-term priorities should be to prepare for the discussion. All involved should review the master plans, economic development recommendations, and come up with specific suggestions for possible near-term priorities.
Yeah, we've had those discussions. So
okay, so what is there a consensus as to what our near-term priorities should be? Because I don't know what they are, and I've been in lots of meetings.
Yeah, so when we first got that document, we did go through it, and the planning board is addressing those as well. I think what I would like to do is I would like to go to that select board meeting and have a conversation with them on the expectations and how we could help. Because just an email, even what you just read, like Kristen said, is we're volunteers. We're not elected. I need to make sure that if we're going to do something, that it's needed and it's not duplicate work, and like we have a clear direction and task before we do anything. So I think that meeting in August will be great.
We
to
also have
discuss all
to,
those things.
we also have to honestly look at expectations. Like, are they expecting us to be like a chamber? Are they expecting
Right.
us to draw? I feel like there's two things that kind of would be in our purview, which would be marketing, hyping up businesses, helping them promote them, which we kind of can do. We can do that because it doesn't cost much. We have no budget,
Right.
So
Yes.
I think it's one of those things where, there's a saying, well, anyway, it's one of those things where they can expect a lot from us, but if we have no power, no say in anything, actually, we can't vote on anything. We're advisory. We have no budget. We have volunteers that are already tapped out with Backyard Bolton. But there's two things it seems like that the EDC can be doing. And one of them is marketing the businesses in town to people in that community and surrounding businesses. Like go out to the restaurant. We need residents from Bolton, Stowe, wherever, to go to the restaurant, populate the businesses. There's that marketing approach. But there's also something that's a much bigger issue, which I feel like, we could do if we had actual staff or if we had some type of budget or something. That would be more like a chamber deal where you're actually drawing businesses from outside to come fill empty stores and that type
but
of
I don't think this is the type of conversation they're looking for us to have. Like this is more of like a high level, what are your expectations of us as the EDC? To me, I read that note as like they have a specific ask that they're soliciting our feedback and ideas around the master plan. Like, isn't that what we want as an advisory committee, is for the board to be asking for our input? So
yes,
I don't see why we would go into that meeting like not at least giving them something along the lines of what they're asking for and just saying, what do you want from us, when they've told us what they want, right?
I think there's an easy one. Pam knows, Kristen knows because she wrote about it. Kate and Pam and Marie went to see Masters Academy. And I know from talking to Kate when we were both on the ad hoc transfer station committee that she thinks that's a really good thing for the EDC to work on. So if we said, like Kristen was suggesting, that we talk to the Masters Academy and talk to the Stowe EDC, we could put that on a list of things that we thought we were going to work on.
We also revisited the zone uses in the industrial districts because it's on the Stowe.
Yes, exactly. I mean, Eric.
Bolton line. So it's not
So
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to have the conversation around expectations, but I also think we need to come with some ideas.
So Eric invited the EDC to meet with people of the planning board and the businesses around Forbush Mill and, have conversations about that. And we can highlight that that's something that we think we could work on.
Yeah.
So there are two things that are easy to do. A third thing is, on our website, we have the basically the Main Street survey. So we could say that we're going to relook at the Main Street survey and see if we can cherry pick some of those ideas and figure out how to advance them. So,
are you talking about the 2022 economic development study?
Whatever it's called.
Yeah. I mean, we're working on the Forbush. That's what the Forbush area is. Yeah. So that's from that study.
So I think part of the problem, and this is a discussion too for like the leadership of the EDC, is I have all these conversations on the planning board. We, like we've talked extensively about the zoning and the industrial zone. I've talked extensively, and Pam can tell you, trying to get like restaurants as part of the zoning and trying to increase all that zoning. And we've had probably a year's worth of meetings under Forbush Mill. So like me being the chairman of the EDC, um, in my brain, maybe I'm already feel like these conversations are happening. So I feel like maybe if somebody else was the chairman of the EDC, like to me in my brain, it's like kind of like repetitive, like because all this is going at the planning board, and so that's maybe somebody with a little bit with that's what I think maybe like if like Sean or somebody else wanted to be the chairman, maybe they would drive it a little bit better because all this talk is happening on the planning board. It just needs to also happen on the EDC, I guess. And the EDC has to help the planning board.
Yeah, I think that makes
If that
sense.
makes sense.
And you already started that discussion. So
Right.
us
Yeah.
taking credit for that and explaining to the
Yeah.
select board that that's what we're trying to do is an easy win for us.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys have been following the planning board's like Forbush Mill discussion, but we're
I think so. I think some of the problem is we often don't have
meetings.
quorums. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we bring up these things, we don't get a lot accomplished because we don't have a
and don't miss the fact that one of the discussions about the new missed meeting rules, they talked about the EDC. I mean, I'm afraid that we're a deer in the headlights, and if we don't say something proactive, they're just going to say more. You're doing more of the same.
So along with what Kristen said is over the past 5 years, the EDC has been heavily on kind of like the marketing for businesses, kind of like a chamber of commerce for our local businesses. That's kind of what we've been trying to support the local businesses. We have not been heavily involved. And when you joined, Alan, I talked about this. We have not been heavily involved in the policy aspect of the, and I mentioned that multiple times. We just haven't had the cycles. And so that's why I said, I think I said that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, like, maybe you could just drive that,
I certainly can drive that, just because I have more time than probably everybody else on the committee.
Yeah. But
yeah,
like,
I don't know why, like we keep talking about what it's been like in the past, but it's a different group of people now. Let's just start fresh and share ideas with them and try to collaborate with them. I don't see why we need to put so much stake in like how it's gone in the past.
No, I'm not saying how it's gone in the past, but like just the amount of time available that this board, what we've been able to put our cycles to is supporting the current businesses in town and helping market for them. And a bunch of the things we do is geared towards that. Like even like the Welcome to Bolton sign and getting the wreaths up and the holidays, like to connect we've really tried to connect the in-town businesses to the community. That's like our minimal amount of cycles available. That's what we've done.
And I think we tell them that.
Yeah. And that's what I will tell them. And I've had this meeting, like when you joined, Alan, is like, I would love for this board to get more involved into what they're discussing. We just have to get the cycles to do it. And I want to have a clear direction of where we fit.
Well, I think part of it too, Eric, is like if you mentioned the crossover between the EDC, you being the chairman of the EDC and also being on the planning board. We're not EDC members aren't going to have the bandwidth to attend every planning board, but maybe we have a 10-minute section of the EDC agenda. You bring us up to speed on what's happening with the planning board so that we can then, when the town asks us for our input, we can talk about how we support or don't support or whatever the planning board is working on. Because we don't I agree, like we don't want duplicate work, but I agree with what Alan's saying. Like we don't want to be viewed as redundant either.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, because the planning board is talking about this, everything we're talking about. And that's what I'm trying to understand is, like I was saying, and maybe I said it wrong, is I don't want to just do the same thing the planning board is doing. I want to understand how the EDC can help. And I think, I said not duplicate work.
Yeah, and that's a
Like,
totally
So-
valid question for us to
Yeah.
ask the select
So-
board.
so-
How do you delineate between the
Yeah.
duties of the
Yeah,
planning
Right.
board?
I think one of the ways is, can we work with other towns? Working with Stowe and the Masters Academy.
I think that idea is great because
Also,
the planning
yeah.
board doesn't really have that
Yes.
perspective.
Another thing is the DCAM property in Lancaster, where
Yeah.
they're going to develop that, and it would be nice if we could work with Lancaster and sort of bias something that would also help Bolton.
Well, so now this is like the whole Forbush Mill rezoning that we're doing is 100% because of that decam.
Yes.
And so what we're talking about on the planning board is all the business zone land around the DPW. Potentially, it would be great
Yes.
to get the
Yep.
DPW
Yep.
moved. All of Frank Chiodo's land, all the way up to the solar fields.
Yep.
Like all that land, we're going to rezone, and like we have a, we're changing like how like the size lot needed. We're
Yep.
changing
I
square footage of.
I was there in that meeting, so
Yeah,
that
so
was
that
Oh,
seems
okay.
really easy for us to say
But-
we're in support of what the planning board
Yeah.
is trying to
But-
do.
Yeah.
But given what the planning board's trying to do and what our businesses around Forbush Mill would like to do, it would be nice to make sure that we influenced Lancaster, because that DCAM property is right there. I mean,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it would be nice not to try and influence them, not to do something that we're trying to help our businesses do, but to do things that we can't do.
Mhm.
So that's another thing we could say, that we're going to start an initiative to work with Lancaster and their DCAM property.
I think it's a great idea for the Bolton EDC to coordinate with Lancaster and
Yep.
Stowe and all surrounding towns.
Yep.
And that would be, like, now that you bring it up, that would be a really good, like, productive thing for this committee to do and to report to the planning board in support to help out with that. Because I don't know, I know Pam like looks at other towns like bylaws and stuff, but I don't know that we're really having discussions with other towns. We're very like Bolton centric. So like I think probably that is a good thing for the EDC, the Bolton EDC, to get a regional feel.
Pam, how do we do that
And
while
the
also
master, I'm
Yep.
sorry.
how do we do that while also complying with like open meeting laws and quorums and stuff like that? Like how do we, outside of our normal Bolton EDC meetings, like how do we coordinate with the other towns? Do we have to do it with like only two of us there? Do we
We
have
could
to be an official meeting? I'm just not fully sure.
We've
could
set
do a
up-
subcommittee, right?
No, well, we've also set up joint meetings with other towns. You could do that. Just both towns have a quorum.
As
Yeah.
long as you post it.
Yeah.
Both options are viable.
But for instance, as Kristen expressed an interest, Kristen and I could talk to Stowe and the Masters Academy if she could find the time, right? So so 2 or 3 of us would be sufficient to do some groundwork,
Oh, for
and
sure.
then bring it back to the next meeting. I mean, we don't have to do anything instantaneously, right?
Right.
No.
But it's just trying to figure out how to start.
Yep.
And maybe I and one other member could talk to Lancaster about the DCAM property, right? So, I'm willing to work on 2 things, just as long as I have a buddy to be
Yeah.
around with me.
So,
Right.
I mean, like, I definitely think these are all great ideas, and it's definitely, Alan, in the past, it's all things we've like talked about doing. It's just like we can barely even meet.
Yeah.
It's hard to do anything. Everybody's busy, so.
but if
Yeah,
if
but
the
let's stop talking about the past though.
yeah,
Let's just do it.
so
Like
so
Oh,
we have
no,
people saying they're gonna do it. Let's do it.
yeah,
so
I'm
you
not,
know,
Sean, hold on, Sean, just to clarify, I'm not like saying in the past, I'm just saying like, we brought up these things and we try to start it and it's just, okay, in the past, there hasn't been help. If we can do it, if we can say it and we can get things going forward, awesome. And when Alan joined, I think that's what I said. I said, Alan,
yeah,
you sound energetic in this area. This is exactly where we could use help. I
yeah.
pinpointed it as a problem that we've functioned as mainly a support system for the local businesses. And it was, I pointed it out as it being a whole.
Yep.
So, if if we have people who can do it, then that is
So
amazing.
so
Alan, I'm willing to tackle Lancaster with you.
okay. So Kristen, I tried to sign you up for Stowe and Masters Academy because
Yeah.
okay.
That's going to be pretty small. There's like 300 students when it opens.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, I don't think it's, it's not like,
Yeah.
and they pointed out in the past that it's helping them with their tax base. So it's not like there's just going to be this influx of people coming to Bolton to buy things. No, it's not going to be that. I think more it's just a good reason to get a map or some kind of directory to make sure that they know they have in their hands exactly where to go in Bolton.
So
yeah, and then I have a lot of information on the DCAM project. I can, I have, so
Yeah,
I can find you.
And the other thing with
and then
Masters,
we've also been in communicated with the town administrator in Lancaster about the project. So I know Marie's talked to him a bit. They're doing they applied for a MassWorks grant to investigate the possibility of installing a new public water supply right on the Bolton Lancaster line to service the new development. So it would be good to keep on top of that and see if there's enough capacity to tie in. Yeah,
that would be amazing.
that'd be, yeah.
Yes, time and time again, businesses' biggest complaint is our lack of water supply.
Yeah, so you don't like this word. So one thing we've done in the past, and we really made a big push, was the infrastructure discussion along Main Street. Whether it was just water, public water, which would really help because, like, for instance, Kitchen Sink tried to serve coffee, but they couldn't even do that because they didn't have like an official public water supply. And if you had public water, then the whole septic placement would be easier. If then we have like, the septic, I know there's like the municipal system, like we did a really big study, the EDC, on how many bedrooms and gallons per day or per hour, forget it, in a certain area, and if the system could handle it. And it appeared that it could. I probably still could find all these documents. But like the infrastructure is the biggest issue for businesses in Bolton. Yeah, I mean, that's like the number one. Like any question of why can't, like Bolton doesn't allow businesses, if there isn't public infrastructure, getting businesses is going to be very difficult because Frank Patterson of 626, he put a huge expense into creating his own public sewage system, for that building. And not many people would do what he did. So it's like, we should be very thankful how he upgraded that property, the salt box, to 626, and all the businesses that is bringing it to town. But like going to a public infrastructural on Main Street is probably where we need to get to in the long run. And how do we get there? And that is something that EDC has like written a lot on and presented to the select board. But I mean, it is a heavy boulder to roll up a hill. So it kind of just, slips away.
So basically, Sean and I are going to look at Lancaster and DCAM, and Kristen and I are going to look at Masters Academy in Stowe. Eric, do you need help putting together something with respect to Forbish Mill and the planning board? Because I can help you with that too.
So, I mean, if you guys could just read the most recent bylaw and where we stand, and
Okay.
if you see any holes anywhere, I mean, we talked to, we have like notions of public shared parking, we have
Yep.
notions of shared septic and water. Like we changed, instead of like a lot having to be an acre and a half to develop on, we use it more like just the overall coverage of the lot. So even like a small non-conforming lot can be built on as long as the coverage is. But like, it would be great for another set of eyes to go through the
Okay.
bylaw as it stands.
So we've got, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, if any support or feedback the planning board could get would be amazing, because we've had this, the planning board has been talking about this for many meetings over and over and over. And besides the one public forum meeting we had, which we did get a lot of good feedback, nobody comes to our meetings. And, we kind of work on a bylaw in a well, essentially, and then hope, you know what I mean? Like, so
Well, we'll have more public meetings. It just it's not quite ready to.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is all our meetings are public working meetings. Yeah, we can have big public forums, but like, as we're discussing all the legalese and like, we're literally crafting word for word, we have no feedback actively as we move on. So I think the EDC, that would be a good spot for the EDC to like, just be a whole nother set of eyes.
Okay.
And even like taking this bylaw and, maybe you share it with Lancaster and be like, hey, this is what we're looking at or something. I don't know, but.
All right. So I've got a fourth thing, which I think is low-hanging fruit. Kristen knows this because she wrote about it. Bill Nichols is working on with Next Gen Energy on a solar plan. And as far as I can tell, it's Bill.
On a what? A solar plant?
Solar plan. If you read her article in last week's newspaper,
Oh, Kelsey did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a select board topic.
Yes.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I think it's a backup system. It's sort of a backup power system that could generate power in the case of emergencies or whatever. And Harvard's doing it, or they're looking into it. It's very preliminary.
Yes. And I think I could make a pitch that we could help Bill if he thought so. And the reason I'm willing to make the pitch is they need 30 acres for this to be effective. And I'm pretty sure Bolton doesn't have 30 acres. So I think.
So this is different from the current solar field we have?
Yes, this is much different.
It has to be municipally owned,
Yes.
which is the issue.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like they still have to get like a whole, they have to just have an analysis before they can figure out if it's
exactly
feasible. So I think
what's the point? It's like just feeds Bolton, or
no,
goes back into the grid.
This would grid. Yeah, this would create lots of excess energy sold to the grid.
You also need large battery storage units, which can be known to be a hazard to your water supply.
So what does Bolton get?
Another big concern that we have.
What does Bolton get out of it? Is the question.
So I think it's after 4.5 years, the investors are gone, and from year 5 through year 20, we get all the proceeds from selling the excess energy to the grid.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know what land you would pick, but even just trying to build one house is difficult because every single lot that's available is wet.
Yes. So don't misunderstand. I am making a proposal which I think is little work, because when we investigate where we're going to get 30 acres, we're going to find out that the town doesn't own 30 acres that you could actually build on.
I mean, the only 30 acres you could think of is like,
I think the town administrator might be working on that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's not.
Yeah. I mean, but like, I mean, me personally, like, you know, if it's like a farm versus a solar field, I'd much rather have the
Yep.
farm.
All right.
I mean, like, I don't know, like,
All right.
yeah,
Well, that brings me into another thing that we've often
Yep.
discussed is working with the Agricultural Commission to try and
Yeah.
promote their farms and their farm products.
Yeah.
And we've reached out to them a few times. I think they had trouble getting going, but it seems like they're meeting on a more regular basis and have a few more meetings. So
Yeah, I think they just
I'll
added
put that-
2 people.
yeah,
yeah, no, that's great.
Which
I
makes
mean,
it easier.
yeah, we've had a ton of ideas on this, and we did kind of like dabble in it a little bit, where we kind of like have like some type of public notice of what farms, even if it's like a small, you know, backyard farm, like just like a place where, hey, this is available today at this farm, just a way to like let the town know that what's locally available. Yeah, so I
so
think
I'll
like
reach
that
back out.
collaboration.
Yeah, I'll reach back out to them and see if we
Yeah.
can get a joint meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
we talked about having like, yes, some type of like public, even like setting up the forum where they could just like that morning be like, hey, this is available, in a way that we can like, you know, share that. So I think a collaboration there is, it's
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
it's one of the biggest economic
Yeah.
aspects
Yep.
of the town.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Oh, did you want to?
No, I don't know. I don't know where we're kind of like jumping around now, so. Oh, yeah, there we go.
So
Business inventory.
the new missed meeting rules. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood. The previous was 3 meetings in a row. This one is now 3 meetings in a fiscal year, which basically for a committee that meets once a month, that's the same number. So, you know, they're
Well, it says 3 consecutive meetings or 25%.
yes, 25% of 12
Yeah.
is 3.
Yeah,
Right. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, it says that, but it's basically 3 is now no longer consecutive. It's just any 3.
It's kind of, I mean, this is kind of just putting words to what it always was. I mean, like, if you're getting ghosted, eventually I just ask the person, hey, write a letter, you know, resignation.
Well,
You know, so I mean, I don't feel like we're getting ghosted by anybody.
well,
Really.
I think, although I'm not sure whether it's clear from that thing, what they talked about was if a public meeting is scheduled and there isn't a quorum, all the people who didn't show up are counted as having missed the meeting.
I mean, this
Right.
is like, I mean, okay. I mean, we're volunteers, you know, like
Yes.
they can like put whatever words they want down. They're
Yeah, but
begging for people to, you know, there's nobody waiting in the wings because somebody else is here.
so
There's nobody that doesn't get to come to a meeting because they're not here.
yes.
You know what I mean? Everybody here is a volunteer, and whatever they can give is great. You know, if they start paying people, then okay, fine. You know, we're all volunteers.
That's why they said they can waive the attendance requirement.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
They gave themselves an out.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point out that
I mean, it's a little bit offensive.
well,
like people have families, they have jobs. We're volunteers. We're volunteer run government. You know, like people do what they can. You know.
I will tell you that I have had conversations and they are very appreciative of volunteers, and they will be very careful not to offend people who have volunteered.
Yeah. I don't know, like whatever. You know, I don't think there's anybody on this board that's, you know, being negligent. So if somebody can't make it, I mean, we're all doing a million things.
Yep.
You know,
Well,
eventually,
you guys are all doing a million things.
yeah. Well, you are. I see you around.
No,
You're doing a million things. You're on a million
no,
boards.
I'm on 4. My children are in their 30s and I'm retired.
Yeah.
Right? I have
Yeah.
neither job nor children. So
Yeah.
you guys all have stuff that you're doing that I'm not doing.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. Like this kind of go, I mean, I get whenever like big discussions in town come up and people on Facebook are like, oh, what are these people in town doing? Like, how could like we're all volunteers. We just live in town. Like, if you want to make it better, please come to a meeting and help out.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if we have somebody that's in line interested in the EDC and I haven't come for a few meetings and I just can't get away from softball, then yeah, sure, maybe they should take my place, but I don't know. We're just begging for people.
I don't think the select board wants to take anybody's place on EDC. I'm 100% sure they don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's move on. It's getting late.
Yeah. Yeah. You have the business inventory listed here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to say about that, but
We've been trying to create a comprehensive contact list for businesses in town.
Yep.
And so I put what the town had in the OneDrive link that
Yep.
was provided in the email, and we're supposed to be adding on to it because I know you have email addresses that we send
Yeah.
out, but
Yep.
they don't have business names tied to
Yeah.
them. So I'm just trying to get that stuff into one
Cleaned up,
document.
yeah. Yeah.
So we have a current list and keep it current, which I'm happy to do. I just need
I think this
email.
is something that if you could just divide the list up and point and assign each one of us like an area to clean up, I think that maybe that's the best.
The list I have is clean. I need to add to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you need us to what? Like look to see what's missing?
Like if you could just even send me your contact list. You said you had an Excel sheet that you use to reach out to people. If you could just send it to me and I'll cross-reference it to what we have and combine them.
Yeah, sure.
That's all.
Okay.
So I saw 2 things, Pam. One is Murphy Insurance doesn't appear on the list, and that might be because our Hudson company just has a an office. But also,
there's a lot not on the list. I just took business certificates, and that's not a requirement for a business.
Okay.
And then we did some recent permitting and grabbed some new businesses and put those in there. So there's a lot that's missing, and that's kind of the point of it, to try and get it all into one document.
Yeah, the other one was the newest dentist.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
She appears to be missing.
Okay.
Tangent. I went with Amy. Was anybody else from the EDC there? I'm not sure. I know me and Amy were there.
I was out of town that day.
Yeah.
But we did run it. We did do a full page article on her.
Yes.
Maybe 2.
Yeah. I keep, unfortunately, getting pictures of me in the paper. I hate pictures of me. I tried really hard to stay out of that photo, and I was forced into it. But yeah, we were there. The office is beautiful. The owner is like amazingly nice. Any way we can market that, their business, we should do, we should do it.
I think Amy did a video with her too.
Yeah.
Like on Facebook announcing her opening.
Yes.
So that reminds me, Kristen, when we talk to the select board, make sure you remind them of all the articles that your paper runs on Bolton businesses.
Not only that, I mean, Amy does lots of videos. I mean, that's one thing that we're really good at is marketing the businesses.
Yeah, and I think it is time consuming. I don't think people understand how time consuming some of this stuff is.
Yeah.
Like as far as, well, I mean, I would say Backyard Bolton is time consuming as well,
Yes.
but also I think trying to promote that, trying to organize
Yeah.
people, trying to, it's
Yeah.
like you do all these little things in social media and a
Yeah.
whole day could go by. Literally, like, it's like, how did the day vanish? And
Yeah.
so I think but it also is one of those things where it's like, sometimes it's not as tangible because you can't say,
Yeah.
oh, I created this, or I put a new
Yeah.
business and I got a new
Right.
business to come into town or something. But I think the inventory thing is, there's the aspect I think that we do is that I feel like we're doing kind of an internal marketing of Bolton, like to Bolton residents and local nearby people to come support Bolton businesses. But then there's the bigger external thing, like how are we promoting Bolton to nearby communities and nearby potential businesses, consumers and also other businesses to come in. What I'd love is just to know every single, and I think I'm not sure I talked about this, but just to know every vacancy, like is there like a sign up genie, do we have something? I don't know
Yeah.
how.
So when we had our website, we had this all on there at one point. What we found is that it just got really difficult to manage because businesses would come in and out and, it would get outdated fast. But like, yeah, if there was a better way to do it, whether the owners manage their own property or something, if there was a way to make it more open, versus everything having to funnel through us because, it would just get outdated fast.
Like property owners like Frank and others, how do they, from what I've seen, we are not active in actually promoting externally, trying to actually get people to lease spaces.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
who does that? Is there, is it just up to the owners of the proproperties? Like,
Yeah, it's just a realtor. We don't really have like I know at one point Mike Murphy of Murphy Insurance was on the EDC, and he was also on the Marlboro EDC. And Marlboro, being a big city, of course, they like actively market spaces to external businesses, and like they have like events where they bring in businesses at certain open spaces. But that's not a volunteer board, really, So, and
well,
like
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like it's like people doing this full time. So that's what you get into, like, you have like, I have 20 minutes to do something between I'm doing this and that. I mean, so it's tough to like coordinate this big event with like all these external businesses to come look at some property. But I mean, ideally that would be amazing if we could do it.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's almost like out of our, it's such a big endeavor. I mean, it's almost like you need a chamber of commerce, you need some of this, and it's like, and I think, it would be nice. I think we can promote Bolton, with maps and directories, at a cheaper level. The EDIC in Stowe, they had a $2,500 budget just for printing or something like that. So I think it's one of those things where, we have to be realistic with, how can we, maybe, if we have a $700 budget annually, what can
We don't use it.
we don't even use it though. So.
Well, and I think that's because we're trying to be nice. If we don't, if I'm able to do free media, online or this or that, I think it's also because we're, to jump to the other level of being a chamber, of being almost like a chamber of commerce type situation where you're actually, when you start marketing your town to other towns, that jumps to a whole nother level.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, where do you even start? Like, it's almost too big to bite off. Like, you just like, okay, what do I do with $700? What do I do? It's like, nobody has
even
time.
Like with our budget, like a lot of times I spend money on things and I do feel guilty asking for reimbursement. I'm like, oh, I'll just pay for it. Like I feel bad.
They're gonna stop giving it to us if we don't start.
Yeah,
I know.
Use it or lose it, guys.
Yeah,
I know.
We should use it because I lost $80 I spent on pizza that I forgot to keep the receipts for, stuff like that. So it's funny because I think all of us do spend money. It's just whether or not we save the receipts and get it reimbursed. But when you're talking a $700 budget, it's not like you go out and start like making any grand plans. But I think mostly we save it for networking events, like if to buy pizzas for people, local businesses to come and network.
Yep.
Which you still want to have that there. I don't think we should get cut off completely.
No. Yeah.
But I think some of these bigger things, I think marketing to other towns and marketing, ideally, I mean, if we had a marketing team or some way to really sell this area, we would really combine with Stowe and get a brochure and make this literally Apple country. People get off the airport. I don't care if you're at Worcester Airport or you're at, in Bolton, or in Boston. You get off the airport. When I went to North Carolina before they had the floods, we were there actually before the disaster, but you walk into the airport, they have a pretty tiny airport too. There's literally like a massive chunk of a building that's dedicated to promoting the city, North Carolina, whatever. It promotes the whole state. But they have this massive, like huge section where you could just get maps of everything, get, this and that. Costs a fortune to print. I know that. I mean, printing the stuff is a fortune. Even the paper, $1,500 a week. So it's like, I can understand that these are massive buys to advertise like this. So that's the problem. It's almost like if we could get some type of donation to market, like, if we could, I don't know. I mean, it's doable. It's just a very expensive.
So I mean, we did we actually worked with, I think, we worked with Minuteman's digital media, and we had like this whole map made up and everything. But and we would print it out for a few $100s or something like that. But it got outdated. I think you said it's been updated, Pam.
No, just the agricultural map is.
Just the agricultural. Yeah. But we had like this trifold brochure and everything that we printed out and stuff. So I mean, we could revive it for sure.
Yeah, I would say let's try to revive it, and maybe we can do it. And the nice thing, I mean, well, the problem with print is that it's gone up. I mean, it's expensive, and it's, like I said, I mean, just it's shockingly expensive. And we've looked around even to print the paper in small batches. It's like hugely expensive. But there's a lot you can do on digital. So
QR code, like you just have the QR code or something in digital.
Yeah, I mean, if we had the option to print, maybe we get a donation or something. But anyway, I think I don't want to waste anyone's time rehashing that. But I think ideally we do start marketing regionally, and I think we get more people in. We support the local. I mean, we do what we can. With Backyard Bolton to make sure Kitchen Sink Candle Company has a full candle bar going, and I don't know. But I think we do have opportunities with masters coming in, because it's not just the 300 students, which they're not gonna go buy a ton of stuff. They're gonna order stuff on Amazon. Who knows with students, but it's also the events. So they got this big ball field. They got 2 turf fields. They're gonna have baseball games. They're gonna have basketball games. So you're getting, the idea would be to get the visitors who are in town, and make this more of a regional area to come to, not just Stowe, but also Bolton, because Stowe doesn't have the winery, but maybe Stowe has Nan's Kitchen, So maybe, we make it like like those cute cartoon maps when you go to a really popular resort city, Florida. I went to Palm Beach, and they have the cute maps, the cartoon type maps that show every place on the map, or the big places, like, have the Shoba Winery, you have the, all the apple orchards. And I know that everyone.
That's what that trifold brochure was. It was like the cartoony map, and it was divided about like retail, farms, all that stuff. Yeah,
I'll get it up. I'll update it.
Yeah.
But what we should also do is work with Stowe and integrate something so that they're handing the same map out, so that we're not left off the list. So I think anyway, that's
Yeah, for sure. Like if we have the bordering, like our own like little bordering towns, EDC, that would be great.
Yeah.
So one last thought. Would the committee like me to reach out to Harvard and see if they have any interest in working with us?
I think any surrounding town would be great to talk to.
Okay.
I thought they were on that list from Stowe, Alan.
Yeah, but I can contact Harvard tomorrow or Monday.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know, and I can find out whether they really have any interest in just one-on-one with us, since they border us all over the place. So I think we have enough things that we can talk to the select board about.
Yep. Okay. The final thing on the agenda was the organization of the committee.
Yeah,
I mean, every single year I bring up if anybody's interested in being the chairman, and I know like right now Sean's the vice chairman. Like, I'd be perfectly fine, you know, Sean, if you wanted to be the chairman, but if not, I'm fine continuing to do it. But like, I do feel like, you know, it would be good to have like to rotate it, you know.
Yeah, I
People
unfortunately
get
don't
burned
have the
out.
bandwidth to commit to that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was the vice chairman, for the record.
Yeah. I mean, whenever somebody emails me, I say, talk to the vice chairman. So,
Yeah. So
I
not
think
to,
Eric just decided that you were the vice chairman.
yeah,
so
you're the vice
Eric,
chairman.
not to kick you out of a job, but if you want to step down, I'm willing to step up in your place.
Um,
That's not a campaign for the job. That's
no,
a
that's
Well,
It's an off ramp.
yes.
yeah,
we can't vote on it now
Yes.
anyway. Yeah.
yeah,
But the question was,
yeah.
you know, how serious is Eric?
It was stepping like I'd be if somebody wants to do it, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it. I've like literally been doing it for I think like 12 years. It's like maybe even more. It's ridiculous. I think Helene Dummer was it for a few years, maybe from like 2012 to 15. I might have been doing it from like I might have been the chairman for like over 10 years. And I
Jeez.
think every single year I've been like, does somebody else want to do this?
Oh yeah, this is not the first time you brought this up, that's for sure.
There's
Would
been
you stay
many.
on the committee, Eric, if you stepped in?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. The planning board, I mean, so like the select board changes every year, but
Yeah.
the planning board kind of like, it seems like every 2 or 3 years, kind of like you do it. Like I did planning board chairman for a few years, and then I was like, please, somebody else do this. You know, and then Mike Gore did it for a few years, and now he's in the second year. I mean, you get burned out with it.
Yeah, that's basically why I offered.
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
So, you know, we can maybe have a vote next meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
I really don't care. Yeah.
So
I
the
mean,
other reason I asked for the agenda item was you talked about subcommittees, and I think basically we did that with the initiatives where you know Kristen and I are working and Sean and I are working on something. So that sort of
yeah, we always
took
have
that.
subcommittees.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, we have to just be careful when we just include everybody.
Yeah.
But like, I know like Kristen and I talk a ton on the side. Kristen and I
Yeah.
are always messaging back and forth. And same thing with Amy. Like usually it's me, Kristen, and Amy.
Yep.
When it comes to like marketing things. And then it's like, I know like me, Sean, and Sean on other things. But we don't really have like, I think what you're getting at is like defined subcommittees.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would
Yeah,
be
like the
smart to
unofficial
do.
Wreath subcommittee is me
Yeah.
and John.
Yeah. And Sean was the by himself. He was the Welcome to Bolton sign subcommittee.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think it would be good to probably, you know, if we're going to be doing more stuff, and even all the things we're talking about doing, I know you're super energetic about it, Alan, which is amazing, but like, it's just tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. I mean, don't be confused. Me not working 50 hours a week
Yeah.
allows me lots of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
that's
time.
great.
I wish
That'll be an asset for us. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
mean,
amazing.
yeah. And I think when you joined, Alan, I think that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I think I said we have no more cycles to give, and you seem energetic and want to do it. So yeah, people get burnt out over time doing the same thing, you know.
Well, it's tough. You know, I have very little time now with this paper. I mean, I'm able to promote things with the paper, but I can't, it's almost like I can't do much else lately.
Yeah. I mean, and like I'm entering robotics all over the free world. Like I was just in Indiana 2 weeks ago with the robotics team.
Yeah.
And softball and
My
like so.
my son graduated and robotics disappeared with him.
Yeah. So yeah. I think it would be great if you want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you'd be like the chairman of 4 committees.
Nah, chairman of only 2.
Okay. All right.
Clerk
So-
of 3.
Just to summarize the to-dos, I'll reach out to Parks about coordinating a fall event for Backyard Bolton. Eric, if you could email me your business inventory list that you
Sure.
have
Yeah,
for
sure.
reaching out, we'll combine it with
Yep.
town data. We didn't really hit on the budget, but maybe next time. It's getting late. And then I'll do a punch list of things we discussed that the EDC is working on related to the master plan and just items
Yeah.
in general, and send it out to everyone prior to
Yep.
the select board meeting.
Sure.
And then I'll update the map with the businesses in town that was created. I have a PDF of it in my file somewhere.
Yep.
And Sean and Kristen, I'll probably reach out to you each separately on Monday. And Pam, you'll probably see me Monday.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Just
So
a
I'm
heads up.
I'm on vacation, Alan. I won't
Oh,
be in
okay.
the office.
See, good
In
plan.
in regard to what, Alan?
So
Right.
Sean and I are going to talk about Lancaster, and Kristen
Oh,
and
okay,
I are
yeah,
going
yeah,
to talk
sure,
about Stowe.
I'm in the same boat as
let-
Pam, Alan. It'll be about a week before I
Okay.
respond.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Also, I mean, let me know when you're going to be doing those because
Yep.
as part of the planning board and EDC, I'd be
Yep.
interested in that as well. As
I-
long as I'm under the, I guess 3 is
Yes,
the
3 is
maximum.
fine.
Three's
Yeah.
fine.
So I
Just
can
let me know. Yeah.
I can talk to you and Pam and one other person, and we're fine.
Yeah. I mean, you could even talk to people separately. We just can't all
Yes,
talk together.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All righty.
Cool.
Anything else?
But when is the meeting with the select board?
13th, I
August.
think.
Hang
13th.
on.
Yep. August 13th.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm looking at July 13th. That's a Thursday. Yeah.
And we'll all plan to be on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to post it, and if you can come, that's
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I think the more of us that are there who are each saying something will calm their nerves.
Yeah, I should be good for that.
They shouldn't have nerve. They shouldn't have nerves. They should.
I
They
don't
should
have
be
the
thankful
agenda.
that they're volunteers.
Yeah, they are thankful that they're volunteers. They're just not sure what we're doing, and I am
Well,
confident that we will be able to tell them what we're doing. And they'll be
so-
happy.
I mean, if they don't think I've been doing anything, it's quite offensive because I've put in so many hours into this in the past year. It's ridiculous.
So
It's just, yeah.
Let's not go into it defensive. Let's go into it sharing ideas.
So just remember, their primary goal for last year was working on the master plan.
Yeah.
So it's easy for them to say to the EDC, "What are you doing on the master plan?" It takes them no thought. It says nothing about us.
Mhm.
It's just an easy question for them to ask.
So the planning board has made huge progress on it.
Yep.
And I would say that the EDC has, the EDC can support the planning board
Yes.
on that.
Yes.
Well.
I mean, there's lots of things we can say.
Yeah. Yeah. The planning board has made huge progress in the
Yes.
industrial zone along Stowe and on Forbush Mill.
Yep, exactly. So I think we're in good shape.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. That was a long meeting.
Was.
Still at work.
Well, I'll try not to talk next time.
No, this was a good discussion.
Now,
Yeah.
should we go back to the first Monday of the month is Labor Day, I think.
Yeah.
So the second Monday of the month?
The 14th.
Oh, I can't. I have ZBA.
Yeah. The second Mondays are bad for me just because of another committee.
I'll do a poll again. I know everyone wants
The
to
poll
get.
is good. Yeah.
I'll poll the full committee.
I mean,
I
schedules are always
theoretically
tricky.
only have 2 conflicts, and those are the 2 other committee meetings.
I don't mind. I mean, my schedule is crazy, so I don't mind, it changing day to day from month to month. Like if you want to do a poll, like that's fine
Yeah.
by me. And I think that's
It makes it difficult for me, honestly, to do
I
the
know.
polls to schedule every meeting. I'd rather
Yeah.
pick a first Tuesday of them or whatever we decide.
Try the
go
second Tuesday of the month.
Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe there's a middle ground too,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I don't know if we pick a date, but then we get an idea for what the quorum's gonna look like
Yep.
in advance.
Yeah, for sure.
So that we know if we need to reschedule. Like I'm on a softball team, and before each game, you either opt in or opt out,
Yep.
and then we know if we need to reschedule it or not
Yeah.
ahead of time. Versus us all showing up, waiting 10
Yep.
minutes, and then being like, "Oh, we don't have quorum."
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to pick a tentative date just to start with now? Like, is the 20th too far away?
What about Tuesday the 15th?
That sounds
Oh,
good
20.
to me.
It's Tuesday, 15th.
Hang on.
I can't do that day. That's actually my daughter's birthday. That's my daughter's birthday. So
I probably need to go there.
Yeah, you can't miss that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wednesday the 16th?
I think
That's probably, oh no, that wouldn't be a planning board. Planning board would be 9th and 23rd.
Which month
right?
are you looking at?
September.
Okay.
I think that probably works because it's an off planning board night.
Or Tuesday, September 8th?
That looks good.
No? Or
Yeah,
the
that could
6th?
work.
The 16th works for
The
me.
8th doesn't work for me, actually.
The 8th,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
How about Wednesday, September 16th? I'll
Yeah,
I'll send out
start with that. Yeah,
Yeah, let's
Alright.
start there.
Okay.
that's pretty good. Alrighty, sounds
And then
good.
that gives us a month to plan for Backyard Bolton too. And
Well, I mean, I need to be ahead of that. That's kind of late, actually. What did we say for a date? I forget.
October 16th.
3rd. We said October 3rd or the 24th.
No, I thought we said like October 16th or something like that.
The 16th is a Friday. We had
The
planned
17th.
previously on the 17th. For some reason, I think Parks has
Yeah.
the common reserved on the 3rd, but I'll have to check.
Maybe check. The
Yeah.
3rd might be good because it's still pretty nice weather. The 24th could get dicey. The 24th could, I think probably the 3rd is probably good. I know like
I don't think it worked for them for some reason.
Yeah. What
Maybe.
about this? Why not the 17th? Like we had already.
it was just the day after that concert. It's probably
Oh,
fine.
just because the worrying about the porta potties and stuff like that.
Well,
As long as we plan it out.
that and I typically do the flag setup the night before, but I don't know what time that concert gets over. If it get
6 to 8.
It's 8.
you know what?
But
It's
it'll be
it's-
dark. But
I always set it up in the dark. I'm always out there. Like literally, I think last time I did it at 11 o'clock at night. I'm surprised the cops didn't show up. Some weirdo with flags. And
a headlamp.
yeah.
All right, guys, I got to drop. I got to pack
All right.
before we hit the road
All right.
early in the morning. But
All right. Have a good trip.
talk soon.
Take care.
Yeah.
Good trip.
Have a great vacation.
All right. I'll
Thank you.
do
You
a
too, Pam.
motion to adjourn, I guess.
Second.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody. Good
Night.
meeting.
Bye.
Bye.